Hello, everyone. This is Professor Maloney. And yes, I'm back. Thank God I'm back. I really am sincerely sorry that I missed 2 days last week. Thank God I was at least able to set the word exam up for you guys. And by the way, you did a great job. There's only 15 of you left in this class. And out of the 15, 9 of you made an A, 2 made a B, 2 made a C, and 1 made a D. There were no F grades. So 9 out of 15, you figure 2/3 if you made an A. 2 out of 15, that's more or less 15 or so percent, made a B, and another 15 or so percent made a C, and then 1 out of 15, so about 6%, made a D. But overall, obviously, that's I always brag about. I always tell you guys that half the students will make an A. Will make an A, right? So in any event, congratulations, congratulations. So today I'm going to demonstrate the first 8 Excel tasks in each of the 4 Excel training modules. Okay, so let's go on over to MindTap, and I shall do that. So I shall turn that thing off and share my screen. Make sure actually that I'm sharing my screen first of all, or that I'm recording, sorry. Let's see over here. I am recording, okay? So that's good. Over here and share my screen. Share that screen, share. Like that thing. All right, now over here, that's my programming class, get out of there. That's for my programming class, get out of there. That's my YouTube channel. All right, so I'm going to go to Student Start here. And this video, by the way, hopefully I can do in about 40 to 45 minutes, but as always, I talk a lot. I'm going to try to focus on not talking too much, just demonstrating what I want to show to you, okay? But if it goes long, I'll apologize afterwards. All right, so Excel. So this is our class, Excel. And I want to demonstrate the trainings. So I'm going to click on Excel Module 1 and the training for Module 1. Now, you may have noticed it's dark in my home office. It's because I did this about 3 hours ago, maybe 4 hours ago, actually. And I noticed after doing all 4 darn trainings that my recording wasn't on. So I'm having to do it again. So now I got to go backwards. It says task 9, so I got to go up here and pick task 1. Let me go check one more time that I'm recording. I am definitely recording. All right. So now, so I'm in module. Wait, where am I here? Dang it. Let's go back in again. What happened? Module 1, SAM training. I was in the hospital till Friday evening, so I'm a little messed up, I guess. All right, so make this big, and let's see if this needs to get bigger. Let's see if it can get bigger. I think that's okay. All right, whoops. So copy the formula in cell B7 into cell C7. So remember that I did do an Excel overview video that I played for you guys on the second day of my hospital, the second day last week, Thursday, because last Tuesday, so a week prior to today meaning though 10/11. I'm doing the recording on 10/10 at night. But anyway, so anyway, yeah, I just make sure you watch the overview video on Excel in case you have not, because that'll help you understand these things. All right, so copy the formula in B7 into cell C7. Oh, this is, sorry, I'm in, again, I said I want to start at the beginning. So here, it'll probably make me always go back to the darn page since I've already done it and I wasn't recording. All right, center the contents of cell C3 horizontally. Well, so here is C3. There's the column C. There's row 3. So this cell here is C3. If you look in the name box over here where my cursor is, the top left side of the screen here, that is the name box, and it tells you that I'm in cell C3. And that's where they want me to be. Center the contents of C3 horizontally. So they want this thing here, sorry, cell C3 horizontally. C3, I don't know why it already looks like it is. Anyway, I guess the ID was on the left side. All right. Okay. So that's done. Copy the formula in cell B7 into cell C7. Oh, again, it's going to keep going back to task 9, so I'll probably always forget. I got to go backwards. All right. So number 2, so there's 38 so far. But remember, I also told you there's about 135 tasks in Excel. There were 126 in Word, and there were only 21 in Windows 10. So this is the most tasks so far. Now remember, this is only module 1, but 38, and cumulatively there's going to be 135 or so. All right, so they want me to hide the grid lines in the current worksheet. Grid lines are all these lines you see. Every cell has grid lines so that you can kind of see the cell better. Okay, all these are grid lines. Now, if you pretend that up here, that this is actually part of the Excel spreadsheet, which it's not, but if it was, there's no grid line showing. So what I'm going to do is go to the View menu. When they talk about hiding something or showing something, it's always done from the View menu. So you click View, okay, and you notice here, there's a checkbox that's checked, and it says Grid Lines. So when I click this checkbox, it's going to deselect the grid lines because the grid lines are already selected. So if you look real quickly, once I deselect it by clicking this grid lines checkbox, then this will be sort of like this, where it'll be no lines. Okay, so here we go. Take away the grid lines, boom, and no lines. All right, now let's remember, go back again. So that was number 2, so number 3. All right, so number 3, we did in Word, we used the Tell Me box to do something. And we're using it again in Excel. We're going to use it again in Microsoft Access, and we're going to use it again in Microsoft PowerPoint. So you have a bit of knowledge on what this one is all about, if not quite a bit of knowledge. All right. All right. So task instructions. Use the Tell Me box to change the fill color of cells in range B4 to D4 to black text 1. And that happens to be theme colors, top row, second option. All right. All right, so the first thing when you use the Tell Me box is you always have to select your range first. So we don't go to fill color first, we go to the range. The range says B4 through D4. So here's B, here's 4, and here's D4. So you click with the hollow white cursor in cell B4. So click, hold the mouse down, the left mouse button down, move over to C4, and move over again to D4. So now it's selected. All right, so B4 through D4 selected. Now they want me to change the fill color. Okay, so to change the fill color, I'm going to go ahead and do what they want. So here is the fill. Okay. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Wait. Let me think here. I'm going crazy. Theme colors, top row. This is fill. All right. So here's the fill color. So this is fill. Okay. So go in here. And they're saying it's the top row, second option. So here's the top row right here. Second option is this one. So if I hover, it says black text 1, which is what they want. So I'll click it, and it's done. Okay. All right. Next one. Copy the formula in cell B. Oh, sorry again. So let's see. Go back again. That was 3. Oh, I didn't. Wait a minute. Did I do that with the Tell Me box? No, I didn't do it with the Tell Me box. Stupid. Okay, I apologize. Got to go back again. All right. So again, I did it the normal way. So this is the normal way. That's the fill box, and you just do it. But they said Tell Me box. Sorry about that. And the reason it was right is because I've already done it. Remember, I said I did it, but it wasn't recorded. All right. So Tell Me box, but I got to again go to the range. So B4 through D4. So B4 to D4. Then go to the Tell Me box, and I'm going to type fill color. If I type fill color, then I'm going to get some things associated with what you can do with a fill color. So with fill color, they want me to pick the first row under theme colors. Okay, top row, second option. So top row, second option is this. So click it, and I now did it, but from the Fill Me box. Okay, from the Tell Me box. All right, so now I got to go here again, go back again, but this time to number 4. Number 4. So select a cell. Well, it can't get much easier than this. So to select a cell in Excel, you just click on the cell number, if you will. So cell D22. So again, as my overview video mentioned, all cell addresses in Excel start with the letter from the columns area up here. So in this case, it's the letter D. And then the row, the number is the second one. So this thing goes across. So it's D22. So they want me right here. Just select it. Done. Okay. Obviously pretty easy. Go back here, go back to number 5. Enter a number as text. So here they're saying in cell J5, so let's go to J, let's go to 5. So that's J5. Look in the name box, it says J5. Enter the value 77112 as text using the keyboard or keypad. So the number 77112 is obviously a number. But in Excel, if we type it that way, then it's a number, and it makes it pretty easy to mistakenly use it in calculations. So because it's a zip code, you see the box above it says zip. So they want us to make it text, and we make things text by putting a single quote mark, meaning the apostrophe, and then type the number. So I'm going to type the apostrophe, okay? So that's a single quote, 77112, all right? And that apostrophe, for those of you that don't type much, if you're looking at your keyboard, the enter key, just to the left of the enter key, if you don't click the shift key, that little tiny line there ends up being a higher line, like you see just to the left of this 7. So I'll select the 7, and to the left of it is that apostrophe mark. Okay, so that, and then just enter it. Done. So that was number 5. All right, go back again to number 6. And now another easy thing here. So we're just entering a number in a cell. So this time we're entering a number, but as a number, right? So in cell D6, so there's D, and here's 6. They just want me to type the number 491. But in this case, they don't want me typing it with an apostrophe, meaning to turn it into text. So you type the number 491 and just enter. Can't be much easier than that. Okay, so as long as you watch the overview video I did, you at least should have an idea. And obviously quite a few of you have had maybe a little bit of Excel in high school, or maybe just from work or anything else. But anyway, so number, which one was that? It was entering a number. Okay, that was number 6. Number 7 is create a formula using the sum function. Okay, so, and again, I talked about this, and I did an example of this in my Excel overview video, but they want me to basically use a function, and the function they want me to use is called the sum function, to total the values in the range B4 to B15. But they're telling me they want me in cell B16. So here's B, here's 16. Okay, so there's B16 just to the right of this total word down here. Look in this name box, it's B16. And they want me to add all these numbers above it. So from B4 through B15, I'm scrolling down showing all the numbers all the way to B15. They want me to sum all them up and put the sum, meaning the total, right here. All right, so they said use the sum function. So you can type equal sum. Now you notice I'm typing it in small, but when you see the list, everything is capitalized. So one thing Excel does for you is automatically convert any little letters or mixed case letters you type into what they want. So equal sum, you can type it in small, okay? And then you have to do an open parenthesis anytime you're typing a function. So equal sum, open the parenthesis, and then it opens up what we call an argument list, which tells you what they want you to do. So here, we want to just sum all these numbers from B4 through B15. So if you want, you can type B4 colon B15 and then close the parenthesis. What I like to do, though, is click in the first one, so B4, hold the left mouse button down, and then just scroll down to B15. And now you see in the formula bar up here, where my cursor is, equal sum, open, B4 colon B15, and now I just close the B15 with the closing parenthesis and enter. Okay, all right, done. Go back again to number 8. Okay. Use the fill handle to something here. Let's see. Use the fill handle to copy the formula in cell B7 to cells C7 and D7. So they want me to go to B7, which is right here. Okay. And if you look in the formula bar, well, first, if you look in the name box, it says B7. So we're in the right cell. All right. They said copy the formula in B7. So I'm in B7. And in the formula bar, though, it says equal sum B5 minus B6. So this number here, 45,088, is really taking B5, the value in B5, and subtracting the value in B6 from it, and the answer is 45,088. And once you have a formula in Excel, you can then take that green square, which is just above my thin black plus sign. It's the bottom right side of that of the cell B7. It's just a little green square. So you hover up on top of it, like right where I am now, click, and they want me to copy it to C7 and D7. So I click and drag again. And when I release the mouse button, it's going to do the same formula, but taking the number 299,000 and subtracting 220,800, and then taking the number 300,410 and subtracting 218,200, and putting those two answers in C7 and D7. Release and do it. You see the numbers are there. Done. So that is now 1 through 8. So I'm done with the first one. Okay, so close that one, close this one. But I can't believe I did this on all of them. I was doing I was just going and going and going, and I just didn't notice I wasn't recording. Anyway, so Excel Module 2, I'm going to do the same thing, in Module 3 and 4, the same thing again, where I just subtract, where I have to go back to the top each time. All right, so make it large. So it's on number 9 because I've already done the first 8. So let's go in here and go back to here. So number 1 for Module 2, oh, there's 23. I don't remember what it was in the other one, but it was 44 or 48, something like that, maybe 40. But either way, it's at least 65 or 70 or so thus far, and there's going to be 135. So then the other two will be similar numbers. All right, wrap the text in cell A6 so that all the text is visible in the cell. Well, so here's A, here's 6. So if I click on it, you see in the name box, it says A6. To the right of the name box over here in what we call, again, the formula bar, it says Anderson Wireless Communications. But in the cell A6, it only shows Anderson Wireless and then a CO. It looks like a CON, but the N is the first half of the M, because you can see up here what it's trying to say, Anderson Wireless Communications. So to make this cell big enough to accommodate all three of them big words, I use the wrap text, which is up here on the ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to click the wrap text, and then you just look down here and you're going to see that Anderson Wireless Communications will fit in the cell. Okay, Anderson Wireless Communications. Okay, done. All right, so now it goes back to 9 again. I got to go to number 2 again. All right, so number 2 in Module 2. Use flash fill to fill the range E4 through E15 after typing curtis.g at rockland.com in cell E4 and Sal in cell E6. All right, so you've seen the fill handle. The flash fill is a little bit different, but it's pretty darn cool. It's actually perhaps more cool. What it's going to do here, you see what they want me to type in E4, curtis.g at rockland.com. So I'm going to type that right here in E4. But look in D4, it says Curtis. Okay, see Curtis? And I'm typing Curtis. Then I'm doing a period, meaning a dot, and then only the first letter of the word in C4. So curtis.g at rockland.com. All right, so that's what I'm going to type first. So, oops, curtis.g at rockland.com. So curtis.g, you got to capitalize them where they did. So the capital C on Curtis and the capital G on Glenn. And then make sure that at rockland.com is in small letters, and it is. Then enter that. Now I'm down to E5. And you see that turned into a hyperlink. The email address is listed up here in this general area. If I click the down box, I won't do it though, because otherwise it might mark it wrong. But basically, you can have things set up as hyperlinks when you type them, if it is in fact an email. Okay. All right. So now in E5, they just want me to type Sal. But remember what I just said. The first word I typed for the first one up here was Curtis. Here, see, instead of Salazar, they want me to just type S-A-L. But what's going to happen is that flash fill will then know that I'm doing the same thing as in the previous. So it's going to turn the Sal into Salazar, and then it's going to put a dot like between Curtis and G, and then it's going to put A, the first letter of the first name, like in G, but now it's A. So it'll be salazar.a@rocklin.com, but it'll also fill in all the others. Okay. All right. So now here I'm going to type Sal. Let me make sure I'm in it. I am. I don't think I even typed more than SA, but either way. So now you see salazar.a@rocklin.com. Ariane's, I guess, .p@rocklin.com. So it just took the same formatting, email address wise, that I got by typing curtis.g@rocklin.com, and then it threw it into all the other cells automatically. All right, enter, done. That was number 2. So now number 3. All right, now here, that thing just said using order of operations. Create a formula using order of operations. So enter a formula using arithmetic operators and parentheses in cell B14 that adds the monthly expenses in cells B9, B10, and B11, and then multiplies that result by 12. Okay, multiplies that result by 12. So this is talking about order of operations. So B9, B10, and B11 are to be added. So here's B9, B9, B10, B11. So it's going to be 21,640 will be the sum, okay? And then we're going to multiply that times 12 in whatever cell we're going to be in, cell B14. So I'm going to go to B14, and that's what I'm going to do. But I'm not using a function, so I don't type anything except the actual cell addresses and whether I'm multiplying them or adding them, right? So equal, and here I don't put an open parenthesis because you only use open and close parentheses. Actually, I will be using it, sorry, because they said they want me to use parentheses to control the order of operations. So I'm going to say equal, open parentheses, and now add these 3 things first. Adds the monthly expenses in B9, B10, B11. So I'm going to say equal, open, and then click on B9, and then type a plus sign, and then click on B10, and then type a plus sign, and then click on B11, and then type a, let's see, B9, I don't need a plus sign now. Now close that, okay, so close that. That means this is going to be done first. Remember, this is order of operations. All right, so those are going to be done first, and then we're going to multiply the answer. So that's going to be added up first by Excel, not by us, and then we're going to multiply it by 12. So now I put an asterisk outside the closing parentheses. Asterisk means multiplication. Again, if you saw my overview video or just your general knowledge of Excel, you know that, times, and they want me to multiply times by 12. So enter, and the answer is 259,680, and it's okay. All right. So that was order of operations. Number 4, a formula by selecting cells. So let's go to number 4. Wait, I didn't click it. Number 4. Okay, so enter a formula by just selecting cells. So in cell B19, so here's B, here's 19. Okay, so I'm in the right spot. Now, create a formula by entering cell references that subtracts cell B6 from B5 and then subtracts cell B18. So in this case, because they're all subtractions, and even if they were all additions or a combination of both, there's no change with order of operations, but they're making it easy on us just to make sure that we understand. All we're doing is subtracting one cell from one, and then another cell is being subtracted after that one, okay? But what's a little bit difficult with Excel is understanding what they're saying, and not understanding, but just being careful. Like it says, create a formula by entering cell references that subtracts cell B6 from B5. So that means what you really type is equal and then B5 minus B6, because we're subtracting B6 from B5. So here in B19, we're going to say equal. I'm just going to click, but if you want it, you can just again type them in. But remember, B5 is what we're subtracting B6 from. So equal B5, here's B, here's 5, and then a minus, that's the dash, and then I want to subtract B6 from B5, so that's done. and then subtract cell B18. So put another dash, which again is a minus, and then B18 down here. So that's all we have to do. We don't need to open or closing parentheses, it's just equal. B5 minus B6 minus B18. Enter. All right, number 5. So go backwards again. Create a formula using the count function. Create a formula using the count function. So they want us to go to D19. So here's D, here's 19. So this thing here, the count function, is pretty cool too. What it does is just, it doesn't add up all the numbers like 11, 21, 30, 39, 46, 53, 59, 64, 68, 71, 73, 75, 76, 77. It doesn't do that. What it's going to do is every cell, whether there's something in it or not, it's counting as 1 and then 2 and then 3. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So the answer will be 14. So I'm going to type equal count. Remember, it's a function, so they're going to show it in big letters, but you don't need to type it in big letters. Just equal count. But because it's a function, you always need to open and close parentheses. So the open parentheses starts the argument list. I'm going to click in D5 and just drag down to D18. And once I release the mouse, those numbers are now in the formula. But remember, I have an open parenthesis before D5, so I need to have a closing parenthesis after D18. So hold your shift and put the closing parenthesis. And now once I enter it, again, it's not going to add up the numbers to whatever I said a few minutes ago. It's just going to count the number of cells there are, and it will be 14. 14. Okay. All right. Let's see. That was count function. Now number 6. Number 6 is doing a similar function. This one's called count A. So let's go to cell F19 and then I'll explain it. So F19 over here. So I'm in F19. All right. Now above this one, you'll see that it's just a bunch of phone numbers. But 3 of them don't have anything in the phone numbers. So if this was the count function, every cell would count. Doesn't matter if there's something in it or not. But with a count A, any values that are blank don't count. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. This won't count. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This won't count. 10. This won't count. 11. So the answer this time will be 11. Okay. So equal count A, open parenthesis. And again, I'm just going to do it this way, but if you prefer, you can just type F5 colon. Colon is the 2 dots. Down to F18, close the parentheses, and then enter, and it will be 11. 11. Okay? All right. Go back to the beginning here so I can do number, that was 6, so now number 7. All right. Now here, for range B4 through B15. So select the range first, B4 all the way down to B15. So you select the range. Now they want to create a conditional formatting rule. Well, conditional formatting means you want to do something depending on the answer that you get in Excel or what the values are in particular cells in Excel. Okay, so I've selected the range, B4 through B15. Now I'm going to click new conditional formatting. So I got to go to conditional formatting first. So click conditional formatting. Okay. Now that it says that formats the top 5 values. So we don't want a highlight rule. We want a top and bottom rule. But we don't want top 10. We want top 5. So we don't want top 10. We don't want top 10%. We don't want bottom 10. We don't want bottom 10%. Okay. We don't want above average. We don't want below average. So it's a new rule or more rules. So then there's more rules. We want top 5. And look, see, it comes out as top 10, but I can change the 10 to a 5. So now it's top 5. So now I've got what I want, but now I want to format it with a blue accent 5 background color. And they tell me where it is again. 9th column, 1st row in the background color palette. So now I'm going to say format, okay? And format, when it says background color, that means fill. So it's this one, okay? Which again, if we were on this thing over here, it'd be the fill one. So here, let's see, they want blue. Well, I'll just go the easy way. To me, the easy way is just looking at where they tell me to go over here in the background color. So here's background colors, and they're saying first row. So this is the first row, and they want the 9th column. So this is column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5, column 6, column 7, column 8, column 9 is this one. So column 9, first row is blue accent 5, and they want blue accent 5, blue accent 5. So this is the answer, so click it. And then, what's going on? Oh, then you just got to say okay. So say okay. Then it comes back to this, the previous pop-up box where I changed the top 10 to top 5. So now I got to make sure I save this as well. So I click OK here. And the preview is based on the background color that we just did. Done. All right. So now the last one coming up for Module 2 training. So number 8. Okay. Remember, I do 8 for each one, and then you guys can have to obviously do the others. But if you have questions on any training task, whether it's 22 in this one, or 44 in the other one, or 30 whatever in the next one, or 20 or whatever in the next one, any of those you can ask me if you need it. But remember, you also have practice and observe, and I'm going to probably use it once or twice. But because it's so late, and I'll be seeing you guys literally in, let's see, 1.5 hours, and then 8. So 9.5 hours plus 6 minutes. So 9 hours, 36 minutes. Anyway, they want me to apply a Berlin theme, or the Berlin theme, to this current workbook. Wherever you are is the current workbook. Okay. So to apply a theme in Excel, you go to page layout, and then on the left side of the ribbon, there's themes. So click the themes, and they're telling me again, it's row 4, column 2. So row goes across. So 1, 2, 3. So it's 4. It's here. And then it's the second column, and you hover, it's Berlin, click it. Done. All right, so now I've done Module 1 training, and I've done Module 2 training. So let's get out of here and go on to, get out of here, and now go to Module 3. Better make sure my recording is still going. I don't want to, stop recording, okay? Don't want any issues. So Module 3 training, okay? And start. And again, I've done all 8, but I have to manually go in now to fix them all. So I'm on 9 just because of what I did. So I got to again go here. All right. So number 1 in Module 3, rotate the contents of the cells in range A3 to D3. So first go to A3, and then with the hollow white cursor there, click and drag to the right to go to D3. So these 4 cells up here, client ID, company name, sales to date, and years as client. So they're all selected. And now they want me to rotate. So the rotation is this stuff up here. It's orientation that they call it in Excel, but we're rotating basically the text. And this text is literally going to be going at exactly this angle right here. That's 45 degrees. But they want us to do it, and they're kind of, they sometimes are picky. So I'm going to go into the drop box for orientation, okay? And this one technically is right. I'll click it, but you're going to see it'll be marked as wrong, okay? But that's not really wrong, because that is a 45-degree angle. But they want me to do it a manual way, so I'm going to come to Format Cell Alignment, okay? And here I can type 45 right here, or I can click right here, because that's 45. This is just like, picture a circle, right? A circle. So this is the right half of the circle. This would be the left half of the circle. So 0 is right here where my cursor is. This one over here is 1/4 of the circle. Circles are 360 degrees. Most of you probably know that. So 1/4 of 360 is 90. So if this is 90 and this is 0, this is obviously the middle, so that's 45. So I'll just click on 45. It tells me once I click it, 45. But again, alternatively, I could have clicked it here and typed 45. All right, but either way, that's it. Done. All right, go back and now to number 2. Align the cells vertically using the bottom align option. So cell B4, B4. Okay, so on this one, you can see that the ones that are like this one's on, it's obviously aligned at the very top. Look at these over here, which are aligned at the very bottom. Okay, and then these, they're probably just center aligned. Okay, but they want this company name to look like email address, phone, street, city, state, and zip, meaning aligned in the bottom. So all we do is go over here. So these are the 3 align options, and this one is align bottom, bottom align. Now watch, company name will go to the bottom of that cell when I click it. See, now it's down there. All right, so that was number 2. So now let's go to number 3. Enter a series. Read it fast enough. Enter a series of values using autofill. Autofill is a cool thing. I demonstrated this in the Excel overview video that you guys watched. Hopefully you watched last Thursday, the day after the exam. But anyway, I'm going to type January in cell A4. So here's A, here's 4. So I got to type January. Now, as long as you can type it correctly, guys, and make sure it says January and make sure it's got a capital J, then enter. When you enter it, that means January really is in cell A4 now. So then you got to go back to A4, the one that you just entered that text in, and then the fill handle again. Remember, the fill handle is that little tiny green square just above that thin black plus sign. Okay, so I'm going to go on top of that green square, click my left mouse button, and then drag it from A4, which is where I am, down to A15. So hover on top of the green square, click and drag, keep the left mouse button depressed, go to A15. Now when I release it, you're going to see all these values in between are having, you can actually see the values to the right. That's June, that's August, that's October, and that's December. Release there, and all those month names are there automatically. Okay, all right. So that was autofill. So now number 4. So number 4, fill the series in the range from B5 through F5. So first let's do B5 through F5. So B5 all the way to F5. Okay, now only one has a value. It's 85,000. All right, but what we're basically doing here is we're going to fill the series in the range using a growth trend. What this basically means is a lot of companies assume that they're going to make more money every quarter, basically. But in this case, obviously it's every year. You can see 2019, 2020, 2021. So with a step value of 1.1, what that means is the 1 is the 100%, the 0.1 is 10%. So basically they want this value here where it's 2020, I mean the cell under it, to be 110% of 85,000. Well, 100% of 85,000 is 85,000. And then 10% more is 8,500. So 85,000 plus 8,500 is 93.5. Okay, so 93.5 will be right here. Then the same step value of 1.1 will go between 2020 and 2021. So 93.5 times 1.1, well, times 1, it's 93.5. And times the 0.1, that's 93.50. So it's a little more complicated now, but so it's 93.5 and 9. Okay, so that's going to be 104, whatever I just said, 104.5. And then whatever the 10% of the rest of it is. So it's going to be a little bit more than that. And then this one will be 10% higher than this one. This one will be 10% higher than that one. And this one will be another 10% higher. So basically, 10% higher from here to here, 10% higher from here to here, 10% higher from here to here, and 10% higher from here to here. All right? Okay, so how do we do it? Well, so they're telling us we're going to fill. Okay, so over here in the window, oh my gosh, I'm weak now. In the what? In the blah blah blah. In the ribbon. In the ribbon, there's fill. So we go into the fill choices, and we want a series. So here's series. So now I've got a series, and now it's already defaulted the series in rows, but you see we're going from left to right. So that means it's a row. If it was going up and down like this, then I'd change it to columns. So it's already rows, but I don't need to change it. And they said they want a growth trend. So right now it's on linear, but I click growth. Okay, so that's growth. And now their step value is 1, but I'm going to type period 1 to make it 1.1. And once I say OK, so it'll start at 85,000, then it'll go to 93.5. Oh, 93, not whatever I said before. So this should then go to 102.5 and a little bit, 102.550 maybe, and then continue going up, right? So here I go. OK, boom, 93.5, 102, 850, 113, and whatever else. All right. All right. Go back here. That was series based on extrapolation. So now number 5 in module 3 training. All right, number 5. Use autofill to fill the range D12 to D19 with only the formatting from D11. So D12 to D19. Oh, and taking that formatting. So I'm going to click over here in D11 because we're using this formatting. And then we're going to use autofill to capture that. So I'm going to take the fill handle again. One more time, that means it's the thin green square in the bottom right corner of the cell. So right here, when you're on it, you click that black, thin black plus sign, click, hold the left mouse button down and drag down. They want us to go down to D19, so that's here, okay? Now, you notice to the right this time, it's always showing 57.5, because this is not always a good thing to do. You got to know what you're doing. So, because you see we have 7,500, 40, 40, 18, 18, blank, and then 8, and then 1. It won't look like that. It's all going to be 57.5 because we're capturing it from that first cell right there, all right? So what I do now, so it shows all that, but now the formatting though, and that's what we want, is the formatting from up here. So we click on this box here, which is autofill options, okay? And now we pick what they want. So they want only the formatting. So fill formatting only, click that one, and then you'll see these numbers will revert to what they were a couple minutes ago, but the formatting, the dollar signs and the right alignment will stay the same. So fill formatting only. See, now the numbers went back to what they were, but the dollar signs are still there. All right, that was number fill arrange with formatting only. That was number 5. So now number 6. All right, so 6 out of 8 in module 3. Indent the contents of range A11 through A19 by a single indentation level. So first, again, do the range. The range A11 through A19. So here's A, here's 11. So click A11, hold the mouse in there with the white hollow cursor, a white hollow plus sign, and go down to A19. So that's what they want, A11 to A19. Now, they want us to indent every one of those, similar to like you see cost and then you see gross profit to the right and gross profit margin to the right, but like CO are to the left of those other starting letters. So, but here everything is the same start as where S for salary is, but these things here, when I indent it, will go to look like this. That was up there, all right? So these are the indentation things in the alignment group. So this is increase the indent, and this would be decrease the indent. Well, we want to increase it, meaning move it to the right. So I'm going to click this one here, and now it's either moved to the right a little bit, but the operating system was still on the left. All right, so that's that one. And that was indent. So now I'm on task 7 in module 3, move cell contents. Okay. All right, move the contents of cell F11 to cell A17. Oh, whippity-doo-dah. This is pretty easy. I think most people can do it. So they want us to move what's in F11. Well, here's F. Here's 11. So this is F11. Verify again the name box when you do these things. I haven't said that much, but so I'm in cell F11. I know it because this box over here, which again I've said is the name box, says F11 is in it. So I'm just going to cut this. So you can cut it with the scissors if you want. You can right click cut if you want. I like to use the control, so I'll just say Control X. Now you see it's got the what I call a rolling marquee, means I've selected that. And since I did a Control X, when I do a Control V like Victor to paste it, then it won't show up in here anymore. And they want me to put it in A17. So here's A, here's 17. So repairs, maintenance, and fees will appear down here. Okay, so Control V like Victor, repairs, maintenance, and fees. right, that was number 7. Now the last one for module 3, this one, 8. All right. All right, copy the values and numbers, number formatting, but not the underlying formulas of cells G15 to I15 into the range B9 to D9. All right, we did one similar to this a little while ago, and where we copied the, I think we did the number. No, we did, I don't know what we did, but anyway, it was similar to this, all right? So first thing, what do? We go to the range. So the first range is G15 to I15. So here's G, this side. Here's 15. So this one, and this one. So I'm in G, H, and I. You can also tell here, I haven't said this yet tonight, but I said it probably in the overview video. But G has a green border on the bottom, H has a green border on the bottom, I has a green border on the bottom. Plus they look a little bit darker than the other ones. So I'm in G, H, and I. And same with number 15. There's a green border under it, green border on the left, green border on top of it, green border on the right. So that's where I am. And they want me to copy the values and number formatting, but not the formulas. So I'm going to control copy. Again, you can do it up here if you'd prefer. This thing here is copy, okay? Or you can right-click copy. So I just did it with Control C for copy. So now I have to go into the range B9 to D9. So here's B9 to D9, okay? And now, though, rather than do Control V like I normally do, they're saying they want me to copy the values and number formatting, but not the underlying formulas. So I've got to see what the paste choices are. So here's paste, but there's choices. So I'm looking for values and number formatting. Values and number formatting. Paste. Formulas. Formulas and number. Formulas and number. Values is what I'm looking for. Source formatting. No borders. Source column widths. Transpose. Values. All right, values and number formatting. Values and number formatting. So I want this one right here, okay? And now I click it, and there, now it's done correctly. And that was number 8, I think. So let's go back. Yeah, so that was that one. So now I've done module 1, module 2, module 3, okay? So now I'm going to do the first 8 in module 4. Module 4, training. Module 4, training. And start. All right, and this one has another 30, okay? But again, cumulatively, there's 135. All right, let's see. Create a, oh, again, I'm on 9 because I did all this. Oh, I can't imagine I did all that work and I didn't record it. Anyway, all right. Group the October, November, and December worksheets. So to group the things on the bottom here, these are called worksheets. This is one workbook. The one workbook is called Rockland Quarterly Sales. That's the name of the workbook. But they want me to group worksheets. Worksheets are down here. So we have 4 of them, but they only want me to group October, November, and December. So I click October, okay? Then I hold my control key and click November, keep the control key clicked and click on December. So again, you see now October, November, December all have a green border on the bottom. So that means they're grouped, all right? October is open on the top. November and December are not open. That means October is selected. So group the October, November, and December worksheets. Then in B9 on the October worksheet. So October is up, that's meaning this one. So if I go to B9 here, I'm in the October sheet, all right? So in B9, use the auto sum button to total the values in B6 through B8. So they want me to add these 3 numbers and get the answer here. So 12 and 15 is 27, 27 and 19 is 46, 46, 5 and 5 is 47, 47 and 720 is 47, 720 would be the answer. But what's going to happen here, because I'm grouping the worksheets, is that auto sum is also going to automatically apply to November and December. Okay, so let's go. So I'm in B9 and I'm going to do the auto sum, okay, and I want sum. So there so then they give you the rolling marquee saying, yeah, is this what you want? And we just enter and say, yeah, that's what we want. So 47, 720 is the answer. So at the same time, November B9 has not this answer, but whatever numbers there were in the November sheet. And December has not this number, but whatever numbers were up here, and then the sum of those down here. All right. So I've done that. Now use the auto sum to total. Done. Now ungroup the worksheets and switch to the November worksheet. So to ungroup, if I right click, you'll just see that ungroup sheets, because I've already grouped them, right? So when I ungroup them, because I happened to be on November when I did it, it automatically also then switched to November, but we didn't get to see it. But either way, it was done right. So just do exactly what I did when you do it, and you're A-OK. All right, so that was number 1, group and ungroup. All right, enter a formula in B6. So here's B, here's 6. Using defined names. Okay, so defined names to subtract direct costs from revenues. So what defined names are is every one of these are cell addresses. Like right now they want me to be in B6. So B6. So that's a defined name, really. It's a cell called B6. But in this box, there are also some cells that they've defined names for. One is direct costs and one is revenues. Well, just look right here. Revenues happens to be here in A4, which you can kind of think of as a label telling us what's over here. So this is revenues. And direct costs, which is also in this box. Oops. Why am I getting it now? Okay. So direct costs and revenues are both there, right? So what I'm going to do is, instead of saying equal B6 minus B5, if that's what the B5 minus B4 minus B5, okay, I'm going to do it with names. So here I'm going to say equal, okay, and type. So let me make sure again. Enter formula using defined name to subtract direct costs from revenue. So you start with revenues. So equal revenues. See, I typed REV and there it is. So I just double click on it. Now it's up there. And then minus, which is the dash, and minus direct costs. So DIR. And there's direct costs. Double click it. So that's the formula they want. Enter. Okay, done. All right, number 3, share a workbook on OneDrive. Okay, so share the current workbook on OneDrive. All right, share a workbook on OneDrive with user1@cengage.com and add the message, please approve for distribution. No period after the distribution. So remember that, no period, okay? And the P in please is capitalized, everything else is small, with the emailed workbook link. Okay, so basically this is just something to share. They're pretending we're on OneDrive here. So we go File and Share, okay? And now we get this share dialog box, okay? So they want us to share the workbook with user1@cengage.com. So to see who gets it, you can click on this, anyone with the link. But then there's choices. See, and they want it to be a specific person. They want user1@cengage.com. So I'm going to say specific people. So that's there. And then apply that. Okay. So now I want to get user1 to send it to. So I'm going to say people you specify can edit. Oops, I didn't need that. Sorry. All right. So user1. You know what? Let me make sure I'm in my that I'm still where I want it. Yeah, I am on the same spot. I just made that. Okay. So here, user1@cengage.com. So user1 with a capital U at cengage.com. So I want to share the link with that person. So I click that person. Okay. So now share. It's up there, and then I want to add a message. Please approve for distribution. So think of this person maybe as the boss. I'm not putting a period at the end, and then I just say send. Done. All right, that was number 3. So now number 4. That was share a workbook. Yeah. Create a defined name. So here we're going to create a defined name, and it's going to be sales 2020 to a range C5 through C13. So here's C. Go to 5. Click with the hollow white cursor or plus sign, bring it down to C13. So They want us to now have a name for all these values here, and they want it to be sales 2020. So to do that, I have to go into formulas, okay? And here it says define name. So I'm going to click define name, and it's sales 2020 without a space. So capital F, just click that. Okay. Be careful when you do it. It looks like you sometimes have to click more than once. But anyway, remember, that's what practice is all about too. So make sure you're comfortable with what you're doing. And that's why I say do these things 3, 4, 5, 6 times. All right, so sales 2020 is going to be applied to that range. All right, so I'm going to say OK, and that is done. So that was number 4. I've got 5, 6, 7, and 8 to go. 4 to go. So number 5, create. Ouch, sorry. All right, create define names for range A4 through E18. So A4 through E18. All right, it's going way down. So over here to E, and then go down to 18. So A4 through E18. So all these things over here are selected. All right, now, so that's the range, but they want me to use create from selection. So again, I go to formula, okay? And then I want create from selection. Create from selection. Now, they're saying use the titles in the top row as the range names. What this means basically is that these values here, client ID, name, first, last, and years, they're going to be names for each of the ranges underneath them. Okay, so top row, it's already there. I didn't put that check mark, but it was already there, so that's fine because they're telling us use the titles in the top row and select the So say OK. All right, it's done. Then it says select the years range. Years is going to be this one, but using the name box. So I go to the name box. Remember, I went to this box a while ago, and there was 2 things in it. Well, okay, it's different things now, but it's what I just did. And they say select the years range. So you click the years range here, and now years is selected, and it's done. All right, so that's that one. So that was create from whatever. All right, so now number 6. Number 6. I think it's been about 45. Wait a minute. It's been pretty close to 50 or 55 minutes, I think, but we were almost there. All right, save the current workbook as an Excel workbook with project space sales, capital P, capital S as a new file name, and store the new file in the documents folder. So obviously here, I'm going to try it, see if we can do it this way. No, we cannot. So again, that's good to try. But so you have to do file and then save as, obviously. So now we're in save as. I want to be in documents. So I'm in documents. All right, new Excel workbook with project sales. So here, select that and type project space sales, capital P, capital S, okay? And it's in the documents folder. Verify again and save it. Oh, shoot. Oh, man, I don't click it what I just did because now I got to type that again. Project sales, project space sales, and just say save. Done. All right, 2 to go. 2 to go. Number 7. Number 7. All right, in cell B9, create a formula using the payment function to calculate the monthly loan payment using the interest rate and loan period values in cells B4 to B8. So I'm going to use these values here, okay? Enter the formula with a negative sign to return a positive value. Okay, so there's probably a couple ways we can do this. I'm a old school person, and I did a payment function actually in my overview video, I think. So down here, I'm just going to go to B9, which is where they're saying I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. So equal minus PMT for payment, open parentheses. Why open parentheses? Because payment is a function. Why minus? Because they said enter the formula with a negative sign to return a positive value. When you do a payment function, you always get a negative, but a lot of companies don't like to put negative numbers. Like for a car payment, as an example, if the number you have to pay back is minus $419.99 every month, that's considered a negative. But if it's $419.99 a month in regular black font, that's considered a positive. So they make us, you know, a minus of a minus. Some of you probably know this from your high school algebra kind of days, but a minus of a minus is a positive. So anyway, so equal minus PMT, open parentheses, and now see it says rate. I'll show you another way if I can have time. I know I hate my videos to keep going over, but anyway. All right, so yeah. So now they want me to use B4 to B8. So the first one is rate. Well, here is the rate. You see, there's two that are rate. So you pay for car loans and most loans based on monthly interest rate as opposed to annual. So I'm going to click this one. The values from B4 through B8, and then obviously there's different values depending on which one we're on. So I typed, clicked B6, and now I do a comma. And notice that rate is in bold. Watch when I do a comma. When I do a comma, now N per is in bold. N per is payment periods, number of periods. Okay, so payment period in years or months. Well, if I use month for monthly, I want to use month for the payment period too. So I'm going to click this one. Okay. So equal minus PMT, open parentheses, B6, comma, B8, and then another comma, and then watch. So remember, I'm on N per, it's in bold. When I put a comma, then PV will be in bold. So now PV is in bold. PV means present value. What's the present value? Well, gee whiz, if this is the loan amount, that's the present value. So that, and now we just close the parentheses, okay? So equal minus PMT, open parentheses, B6, comma, B8, comma, B4. Now, if this is not right, then I'm going to have to use number B5 for interest rate. They might want the annual percentage rate. And I might have to use B7 for the number of years instead of months. But let's see. Nope, it's A-OK. All right. All right. And then I'll do FV. You know what? I did say I would show you one more way. Let me just go back to that one. Let's see, that was 7, right? This one. And let's see if I can do it their way. I'm not big on this thing, but let's see. So in the formulas, there's a PMT function. It's under financial. So under financial, you see there's tons of things in Excel. MNOP, this one. Okay, but I want equal minus. So the first thing I'm going to do is click up here in the formula bar, up here on the top, and make that, wait, I can't. What's going on? Why can't I? Let's see. I can't get into that. So I can't do it that way. Let's cancel it to that one. Let's see. Let's say insert function. Do it this way. Payment. Let's see if I can do it this way. Say OK. No, I can't. All right, I'll see if I can fix it at the end. But again, my way is, in my opinion, the best way. But anyway, so now I'm going to do these. All right. So it's the same thing, the values in B4 to B8. So for rate, okay, I want the same one I did last time, the monthly. So I'm going to click this one. So B6 is over here, okay? Then for a number of periods, I want this one. Oops, shoot, no, that was B6 again. And then you got to go to N per for number of periods, and I want this one. And then present value, click that box and click this one, okay? And you see it's showing as a minus. I want to turn that into a positive. So let's see, where would I, somewhere in here I have to turn that because their way is different than my way. Present value is present value. Present value, to remember the series of future is worth now. Maybe in present value, I'll say minus and see what that does. I'm going to put a minus B4. See, I'm looking at this thing here where it says minus. Okay, yeah, that turned it to positive. So B6 in rate, B8 in N per, minus B4 in PV. And I did this by inserting a function from formulas. Let's see if this one will work. Yeah, so you can do it that way or the way I did it. All right. Okay, now the last one is number 8. And that's similar, but this one's a future value. All right, so future value. Number 8. Okay, so in cell C9. So now I'm over here in C9. Okay, create a formula using the FV, which is future value function, to calculate the accumulated investment amount using monthly rate, investment period, and investment amount in C6 to C8. So they want the same values. This one, they're more specific. They're C6, C7, and C8. The other one, it said, oh, you know what? Maybe the other one did say B6 to B8. I was thinking it said B4 or 5. Anyway, it doesn't matter. All right, so in C9, yes. and I'm going to say equal FV. For FV, you don't need to put a minus because it's going to be a positive. So equal FV, and they want, so now I'm on rate. Remember, rate is this interest rate, and they don't want the annual. They want this one, so this, okay? And then you type a comma, and then rate won't be in bold anymore, but N per will. So F6 equal FV, open parenthesis, C6, comma, and now N per is in bold, and number of periods is this one in months, so that one. Then another comma, and now payment is in bold, and this is the payment, okay? And then close that and enter that. Done. All right, so I'll try that one also their way just to see, and then you're done. So go back to 8 this way. Let's see, insert a function, so formulas, insert a function, and they want a FV in this case, future value. Right. No, we're going this way. And here, it's a logical, no, it's a financial. Why won't it let me? Let's cancel that. All right, so go to, which one am I on now? 8 is future value, right? This one, let's see, yeah, future value. So let's see if I can do it by entering financial here. Yeah, here's FV, okay? All right, so FV is in, and now move that over here. So the same thing, now for rate, I'm in the C6 to C8. So the only one that's a rate in those three is this one, 0.4%. So then click the N per box, and you do the saving period in months, 36. Then the payment box, which is this thing here, you do this one, and it's all done. Or it should, oh, no. All right, so this one may not work their way, or maybe I just don't know how to do their way, but I don't like it anyway. I don't even know why I'm showing it to you. Let's see, in cell C9, now let me just do it my manual way again. Equal FV open, okay? So FV, I'm on rate. This is the rate, all right? Then I do a comma. And then I'm on N per. Number of periods is 36. Then I do a comma. Then I do the payment. The payment each month is this one. Okay. Then I close that. And let me just read it all to see if they do tell me I need a negative sign. So create a formula using the FV function. That's future value that's there. Calculate the accumulated investment amount using monthly rate. This is the monthly rate. Investment period, this is the investment period, and investment amount, that's the investment amount. Enter. Yeah, all right, so do it my way anyway, it'll work. All right, so anyway, that is it, guys. I am going to get out of here, and I wish you the best. I'll see you actually, and now, let's see, 1 and 8 is 9 hours. So let's call it 8 hours and 56 or so minutes. I'm going to stop my recording.